from Newark, New Jersey, North Newark, Roosevelt, and 4th Avenue. My family, my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, those are the people who were really there for me when I needed them, and people who really matured me into the man I am today. At first I didn't want to go to Benedict's. I was terrified. Every one of my middle school was telling me, yeah, Benedict's is crazy, don't go there. It's all boys school in Newark, and I was like, what? I had no idea. I wanted to go to science, but you might not have to put that on camera. Then she put the application in front of me, and remember it was this little thick pamphlet. And I was like, man, I'm not filling that out. What's wrong with you, Mom? She was like, hey, this is gonna be good for you. So, of course, I can't go against my mom. She told me I'm doing something, and I had to do it. My feeling about Benedict's changed after I got back from the overnight. As soon as I got back from the overnight, I was like, man, this is the place. I need to go here. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to be a part of. My grades when I got that back from the overnight were horrendous. I think I had a 169 my first report card I got from Benedict's. That was definitely a wake-up call, but that was the lowest I ever got at Benedict's. I surrounded myself with people that were making me, just making me work harder and being competitive with each other just to get better grades. And that was one thing that Benedict's did for a lot of people, and I know it did for me, definitely was more of a competition with a lot of things for us, Growing up in Newark it's not easy for everyone, it's a difficult situation, but one thing that Benedict's did was bring those people together and first off gave them something in common. Just something that everyone can relate to, like, yeah, I grew up without a father. At home, my mom was always like hitting home to me like, you're going to college, you have to graduate, and to me it was more of like I didn't have an option. I just knew that I had to finish school for my mom and for myself and for my family. I remember freshman year overnight, and we had some old alumni from Benedict's come back, and I remember Manny McDonald came back and he was talking. He was like, yeah, I was soccer manager, varsity, and I was a basketball varsity manager, and I was like, hey, that sounds like something I'm interested in. So I remember I went to Coach Hurley and I was like, hey, Coach, is there any way I could just help out with the team or do anything? And he looked at me like I was crazy. Who's this young, chubby, stubby freshman kid saying he wants to be a manager for our team? And so ever since then, I was definitely a part of the team and helped him out for my whole time I was at Benedict's. My big mentors was definitely Coach Hurley and Coach S. They were definitely the two people that forced me to do better every day. My plans after college, I want to stay in school and get my master's degree. I ended up at St. John's because I wanted to find a place that was close to home and also a great basketball school and somewhere where we can be competitive and I could learn and hopefully get some opportunities in the field that I want to pursue my career in. St. John's, for one, is a beautiful campus and a great school. It's a campus in the middle of New York City, so that should speak for itself. I have access to everything on campus. I have access to the library, the gym. Working for St. John's basketball has definitely been a great experience for me. So this past summer, went to Europe for 2 weeks. The first place we went to was Paris. Got to visit the Eiffel Tower, got to see the Cathedral of Notre Dame. It was really opened my eyes up to new things, and I'm blessed to have the experience and have the opportunity to go to Europe. The place definitely runs on the same type of gear as Benedict's does in the Catholic mindset. We're a Vincentian community, so it's something where we're all caring about each other and doing what we need to do to make sure everybody succeeds. And at Benedict's, our motto was, whatever hurts a brother hurts me, and that was definitely one of my key mottos at St. John's as well. The players of the team are like my little brothers, man. Like, I feel like I always have to keep an eye out on them, making sure they're all right, you know what I mean, making sure they're good, and they're my responsibility just as much as they're the coaches. The leadership experience that I got at Benedict's was definitely the key and the basis to who I am today and how I lead whatever I'm a part of today in the classroom or my job or anything like that. But Benedict's definitely really taught you how to be a leader and how to find ways to get things done, just because we were put in situations every day where we had to be leaders. When I was a junior, I was assistant group leader, and when I was a senior, I was the group leader of Father Eugene Schwartz. Probably one of the biggest challenges for me was trying something new, because I'm a homebody. I love to be close to home, and I love Newark, you know what I mean, and I love the Hive. So it was different for me just to come to a different setting, but That was probably the hardest challenge for me, but I got over that. When I came to college, it was way more responsibility needed in terms of time management. That was probably another one of the hardest things I had to get adjusted to, just because I was responsible for the management of my time. It was never an option to me to fail or to quit or anything like that, but it was definitely some times where I thought about it like, man, this is tough. I don't know if I can keep going with this. My confidence and part of my drive comes from Benedict's, you know, like Benedict's test you every day. Every day was something that they put in front of your plate where you have to conquer, you know what I mean? Whether it was a test, a quiz in Sterner's class, or anything that we had to do overnight, the trail, it was always something where they put something on your plate and you just had to get it done. You know, it was never easy. It was never something where you would just walk in and be like, yeah, I got this piece of cake. You were challenged every day. Once I finished the overnight, I was like, yeah, she made, you know, moms always know best. She made the right decision for me. And what is it, 6 years later? 6 years later, 7 years later, damn, man. 7 years later, I'm looking back and I'm just appreciative of her decision and me trusting in her, because I wouldn't know where I'd be without St. Benedict's.